Chatting with Cherubs.
Hello, welcome to Chatting with Cherubs with me, Josh Jones, and the wonderful
Gearoid Farrelly and the fantastic
Morgan Rees. Hey gang, how are you all doing?
Hello,
good.
hello.
And we're very good. How are you?
Not too bad. I'll be honest, I'm still come down from holiday, but before I talk about that, I am still itching to find out about how Kylie was.
Oh, Morgan. It was incredible. She is the queen.
Yeah, I mean, going to Kylie, that's like the holy pilgrimage for a gay, isn't it?
It is. I feel like I've made my confirmation. Yeah, it was just incredible. There's nobody like Kylie. She's kind of got like, she's kind of like Madonna, but with, the ego of somebody that just works in a, sings in a nightclub. She's like really cool. Oh, I loved it.
Yeah.
Well, you've seen her a few times though, haven't you?
Yeah, I've seen her, I think 3 times. 4 times. I've seen her 4 times.
Was this the best one?
It was the best fun. It was just, the thing about her is now she's just kind of really happy or something. I don't know what it is. I think it was she has just got over herself a little bit. Like she's doing really cool things. Like people are like shouting out the names of songs and she's just singing them.
But you were in great company as well though, weren't you really?
The company wasn't great.
Because I went Morgan.
What? What?
I cancelled my gig. I pulled a sickie.
You pulled a sickie and you went to Kylie?
I told him I was ill and I pulled a sickie. This can't be the clip. And I went to him and I went to Kylie as well. Because when we was out the night before, it said, does Josh want to come? So I told him I was ill and I went to Kyla.
Oh, I know I'm smiling, but I'm really thinking I fucking hate Josh right now.
And I've almost let it slip so many times.
Yeah, I didn't tell you because I was like, fuck, this would be funnier.
Yeah.
I'm so jealous. You were in a box as well.
I know.
We were in a box. We had such a great time. It was so much fun. Yeah.
So thank you.
And for the whole gig, Josh just kept saying, "We can't tell Morgan. We can't tell Morgan."
Like it's an affair.
Yeah. So I went with him. But
was it awful? Now I wish it was awful.
No, it was so good. It was funny though because obviously I knew everyone there because it was all like comedians and stuff, and they took like 2 lots of photos, one with me in and one with me not in, because I genuinely had to pull a sickie to get out of the gig. That's why I can't use this as a clip because we could only speak about it on the podcast. But I pretended should be.
What
really
excuse
ill.
did you give?
I've
got Kylie fever.
No,
yes.
I said I had violent diarrhea.
Oh,
and they believe it.
Yeah, they believed it.
That is really. Yeah, they were like, "Oh, Josh, we just assumed."
Yeah,
obviously, it's the fiber pills.
Yeah, and they're like, "We know how much he appreciates his own bumhole. He talks about it all the time. Give him off. But I mean,
if you put violent before anything, no one's gonna.
Yeah. But the thing is, I never pull sickies really and get out of gigs. I never do it. But like, I was speaking to my boyfriend. I was a bit like, I'm a bit, should I do it? Should I not? And James was like, you've been offered a free ticket to Kyla. And like, this is like, you gig most nights of the week. Just skip it and go. And I'm so glad I did it.
And he's a doctor as well. Yeah. You should just write me a note.
Yeah, but the note would be, my darling Josh is unavailable for work.
Yeah. Diagnosis, violent diarrhea.
Did you see the Kylie tweet? The guy who got really annoyed at Kylie because he thinks she's gone gay.
What, he thinks that she's gay?
No, because he thinks that she's really like courting her gay crowd. He was like, I've seen you 5 times and this is the gayest it's been. It was so basically I have the tweet here. It was basically after the Glasgow gig. This man called Brian.
Yeah.
He sent her a message and said, "Welcome to Glasgow, Kylie. I've seen you 5 times in concert, but never again, as you have went woke and all gay. I felt threatened standing in the crowds by the gay community that you attract, so I won't pay money to see you." Pity you went down that road in life, but love you loads.
Oh, hun. Oh, girl.
Like, babes, if you've been to see Kylie 5 times and it's only now you're noticing the gays,
Yeah.
And I think the only thing that's getting threatened is you coming out. That's the only thing.
Yeah.
like on the Aphrodite tour, she had like, you know, topless dancers and a splash zone. Like if that doesn't say gay to you, I mean, what
Yeah.
There was no toplessness on this one, really.
I was slightly disappointed with that. Yeah,
Yeah.
no toplessness.
Maybe
No,
she
they-
took that criticism on board and she was like, right, lads,
Yeah.
Dynamo, Gladius,
Yeah,
Tyrone, put the top
trying
back
to-
on. You've got an angry Scotsman.
Kylie's trying to get the straight audience on. Yeah, her next album's just going to be her doing like country, but like Johnny Cash sort of,
Yeah.
like slow.
Yeah.
No dollying it up, just like, you know.
Yeah, she's gonna be like proper dull. She's gonna be Coldplay.
What music does straight men listen to?
I think it would be
Whoa.
like James Blunt or Mumford and Sons.
Oh
Yes,
yeah.
I would say those references are about 10 years old, out of date, but
Do you know what? I'm out. I'm done. I'm just done.
yeah, I think they're probably listening to a little bit of Little Richard, a little bit of
Cliff Richards, they love him.
yeah. I think it's probably like Sam Fender, isn't it? Sam Fender.
I like
Private
it.
school pretending to be working class Sam Fender.
Did he go to private school?
Yeah, apparently so.
No, he didn't.
Or maybe I missed. Oh, I thought I saw that on
Did you?
I saw that on Instagram, so I'm going to
He
assume
might
that's
have
gospel.
done. He might have done. He's so judgmental, but he's got like a thick Geordie accent, hasn't he? Where's he from? Is he from Middlesbrough? Is he from Newcastle?
I'm not sure. He's
I'm gonna-
northeast, isn't he?
Yeah, I have a bit of a thing for him. I think he's
I never really understand the whole private school thing. I don't know why you pay for something that you could get free.
yeah.
Because it's about the inroads you get and the quality of the education is better because it's less. I'm so massively anti-private school. I don't begrudge anyone going, or I don't. You just want the best for your kids. That's why people send it. But they just, in my opinion, should not exist. Every child deserves a fair start and an equal start.
Is
Yeah.
it that like, oh, I'll definitely be able to get a job from this person because I had my finger inside them when I was 15? I don't know if that helps.
Do you know?
Yes, that's when I talk about inroads. That's the road I'm talking about.
Do you know what I don't understand is there's so many privately educated people who do our job, loads of them, and I kind of look at them and I'm like, your parents paid like hundreds of thousands of pounds, and then you're here sat with me.
Yeah.
Like my parents are proud. But like yours must be fucking well pissed off. Do you know what I mean?
You were,
like,
you were taught GCSE maths by professors.
I know, yeah.
But then you had a breakdown. There's always a breakdown in there. It was too stressful.
But do you know what? Because I know we all do, but we know people who went to boarding school. Growing up, I wouldn't ever meet. I don't think any of my family know anyone who went to boarding school. But because of comedy, we've met people, and that sounds boarding school doesn't sound good.
No.
No.
Well, if you're adopting a cat, right?
Yeah.
And you say to them, I'm going to get this cat, but I'm just going to put it in with other cats for, 8 months of the year. They'd be like, oh, you're not getting the cat.
Yeah.
So
And when we do get the
sense.
cat, when we do have the cat, we don't know how to look after it. We don't particularly know its names or what it likes.
Yeah, exactly. Conversation's really still, and you just can't wait till the cat goes back to the other cats.
Yeah, and for
that's
some reason
weird.
now our cat's always gay.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but
Because
I
we've been hanging
feel.
around with similar cats too much.
I think if I would have gone to boarding school, I would have been out a bit quicker. I don't know.
I think you would have
if
been outed a bit quicker.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
You just would have been rolling around the dorm.
with the
Don't need a bed.
professors.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's crazy. How did we get onto private schools? I don't know.
We talk about Sam Fender.
Oh yeah. Oh, but I didn't know he was privately educated. But yeah, I agree though, Gearoid. I've always said I don't know why you'd spend your money on it, really. I wouldn't send my kid.
Maybe
It's
I
because-
just feel really cheap. I'm just like, if I can get something for free, I'm not going to pay for it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, but it is just about it's about the connections you make. It's about you're more likely to get picked up by certain universities, all the top brass ones.
But I
So-
think you get better connections at my school, like, because, you know, I know a bricklayer, I know a plasterer, could do a full house up. Do you know what I mean?
yeah,
What's
I mean, like
more useful, really?
Yeah, you can get a financial consultant whenever you want one if you just pay one, but try and get a plaster around.
Yeah. Posh people get done over by tradies because you don't know who to go for. They just like pay for the richest one. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I will say though, like I totally agree, but then I think we're just as guilty as that as well. Like I would say I'm not particularly I'm not middle class at all. Like maybe a little bit now, but like if I went to a mechanic, they could say anything and I would just go, well, yeah. Or I think an electrician could come round and tell me that there's a problem with my water, and I'd go, yep, cool, fix that.
Did I tell you what happened with my car?
Yeah, is this when you just broke your car and you said, I'll have a new car?
Yeah, they just told me. Yeah, I that was the revelation came on that podcast. As soon as I told you, I was like, oh my god, I've been completely shocked.
That's what happened with my phone. That's why I've got this contract ends and I'm getting a new phone because I was with EE and I walked into the EE shop. This was when I was living in London. I just walked into the shop and said, can I have a phone? And I've been paying £100 a month because I thought we all paid £100 a month. So now I've got a new phone coming and I'm paying £50 a month. So it's half the price. But it's just because I walked in and went, can I have a phone? And I thought, fucking hell, that's how much a phone is. I don't know. I don't make phones. I don't know what a phone costs.
Yeah. That is mad. Just to circle lightly back to that Kylie thing, it really made me laugh that he felt threatened.
I know. It's so, and like, it's such, like, it's so rare to see a straight person at Kylie, like to see a straight man at Kylie. Like, all the men are gay, all of them.
It
Like,
was so gay.
do you remember that guy that went on his own?
Oh, God, yeah.
This man went on his own. It was really, really sweet, but it was like, I felt like we were really mean.
Well, we was. I wasn't. Well, no, I did actually.
Can you give me some context? Like, what about where?
So
because you were in your own box, weren't you?
Yeah. So, but he was sat near the. She had a mini little stage as well as a big stage, and when she was on the mini one, she did a bit of crowd work. I didn't know she was an MC as well.
No, the crowd work wasn't great. She needs to start in a smaller room.
Yeah.
Imagine she was a real roaster. What's your fucking name? Is this your missus?
Are you on your own? You fucking nonce.
You're punching.
Because normally, like, if someone came to a comedy gig on their own, I'm like, great. I encourage coming to gigs on their own. I've watched stuff on my own, and I think it's great.
Oh,
but he was like, I've come on my own, and we were all like, like, that's nice to see. And then just for some reason, we just started ripping into him.
Yeah, because the sad part was he had this whole conversation with Kylie. We were like, oh my god, that poor guy, nobody filmed it.
Yeah, that's what I said.
He's
He's going to walk
You guys are thinking about content too much. You need to get out your heads.
But he's going to walk in the office and be like, guess who I spoke to last night? Yeah, all right, Alan, you said that when you saw Shania, but no one goes with you because you're full of shit.
I guess that is true. He would need it to verify, otherwise he looks like a bullshitter at work.
Yeah, I spoke to Kylie last night. Okay, then, all right.
Yeah,
then.
you did, didn't you?
Yeah, where's the footage?
But they had
We need the
like,
receipts.
they did have like to be honest, it was a bit when we first met him, when she first started speaking to him, it was like, oh, this is nice, like he's come on his own. Because I do think you should go watch stuff on your own if you like going to watch stuff. Like, so if I'm speaking to someone and they're like, oh, I came on my own, I'm never one of those people like, oh my god, you came on your own, where are your mates? Like, and I don't even think like that, but because we was having a few drinks, was like, nah, fuck it. But it just because it was going on for ages, like she making the whole thing about. She sang to him.
Yeah,
and,
but
like,
I think she made it. She made it really weird.
She made it weird because he came on his own. He didn't like say he was dying, but she you come on your own. What's your favorite song? Sang it a cappella. I'm like, right. He still bought a ticket. He's just not anyone with him. Like,
well, also she was like, and you came in your own, but don't worry, like you're going to make so many friends here to see him. It's like, he didn't say no friends, Kylie.
Yeah.
He just went to see 3 gigs and they were like, Alan, we're just going with you to 1.
Yeah. We've seen Kylie with you 5 times.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. She's really projecting there. And she,
it was.
You've come on your own. You don't have to unalive yourself, you know.
She made it. She did make it a thing more than he made
Yeah,
it.
and at the end, I felt she was just going to go like, and if you've been affected by anything you've seen, there is a helpline that you can call.
And she should have just given that Glaswegian's number.
Exactly. She should have hooked him up. Who wants to shag him? Like, this was the perfect opportunity. It pays to advertise.
Yeah.
We also have to tell Morgan that after the last record that we did in Manchester, we went wrestling.
Yeah, we did. I took him to go watch wrestling. So
yeah,
when
I think I should have said to go watch wrestling. You made it sound like you went wrestling.
Yeah, but I took him to an amateur wrestling. But that's when I found out about Kylie. We was at wrestling when he was
Is this whole episode going to be about things you did without me?
Yeah. Well, yous met up without me, so we can get
I know,
to
we'll
that
talk
as
about that. I guess it's true.
But we was at wrestling, and it was like an amateurish sort. Yeah, it was amateur wrestling, but
it was amateur. There was nothing ish about this. This was amateur.
Well, they were. It was violent though. They were like hurting each other. They were going.
That's brilliant.
They were going
as violent as the diarrhea.
Yeah. That's what gave it me. I was so scared, but they were going for it, like doing moves that they do in WWE. Because obviously, I watch WWE quite a lot, and I've watched it live. But I've never been to like an amateur one. And my friend was in it, and it was so cool. He was great, but there was one person in it. This one guy who. So normally when they're at wrestling, a lot of the times they're in undies, but they're like wrestling underpants, like proper wrestling things. I suppose that like the sort of things like strippers wear, but
like lycra,
yeah, they're like thicker lycra sort of stuff. I've never seen this ever before. One of them was just like in Calvin Klein boxes with.
Where was I? I'm more jealous of this than the Kylie thing now.
You're not. No. They were not fresh. He had a big sweat patch up his ass. He had fishnet. He must have wore the boxers all day. You can tell they've been worn all day because he genuinely had a sweat. Didn't he? Go out like
he had a sweat patch on his welcome mat, basically.
Yeah. Like at the top.
Never heard it called that.
So yeah, he had a huge sweat patch there, but he must have took the boxers off to then put on fishnets. So he must have worn his boxers all day, took them off for a minute, put some fishnets on, then put the boxers on over the fishnets, and then put boots on. I was horrified. I thought that was the weirdest. It made me feel uneasy. We was because my brother loves wrestling as well, and we was like, this is this is weird. Why is he in his boxers, and why are they sweaty?
But also, the weird thing is that they were Calvin Klein boxer shorts, which Calvin Klein boxer shorts are way more expensive than like a €2 pair of wrestling shorts on TV. Yeah. Like, I don't understand it.
But they weren't new Calvin Klein boxers. They were Christmas 2021
but you're
Calvin
not
Klein
wear
boxers.
New Calvin Klein boxers to when you're about to you're about to go wrestling. Is it? It's like you don't wear your best boxers when you go to the gym.
It was like they were in the sort of shape where the legs are so backy. The reason he wore the fishnets is so his dick didn't fall down the leg. Like they were out of shape, Calvin Klein.
You would wear your best thing because it's like they're trying to get promoted to like proper bigger wrestling gigs, and so like every like you know, their outfit is part of the whole thing. Do you know what I mean? And also, it's like there was like 40 odd of us, 50 of us who had paid like £8 each. Put some fresh boxers on if you're gonna wear boxers, like yeah, like fresh ones. But they were like white boxers where you could just see
asking for trouble.
Yeah, it just made me feel really weird. I was like, this is so weird. And do you know what was quite funny about it? It was in have you ever done Excess Malacca?
Yes, years ago. I know the venue though.
Yeah, so it was in their old venue. It was probably the one you did. And it's a great venue, but you know, it's not the highest ceilings, it's quite low ceilings. So when they was jumping off the top ropes and stuff, they had to like kneel down because so they didn't hit the head off the roof. And the venue had a bit of bunting up and they forgot to take it down, and you could see some guy was about to jump and he was like, oh no, I'll strangle myself on the bunting. So it was quite mad.
And I will say, if we should pick between Kylie and the wrestling hands down.
Kylie hands down.
Oh no, the wrestling was brilliant.
I think it's just because it's a new.
What won it to you? Which one peaked?
Well, what I loved about it was I went in at the start and I was like, oh my God, this is so violent. Oh my God, I can't watch. And then like half an hour in, you're like, chair!
Yeah.
Like, hit him with the chair!
Yeah.
Good
thing you didn't take that with you into Kylie.
Yeah. Hit that bastard who's on his own. Next time, bring a friend. Here's a chair. But the thing is, I was sat with Sam, my brother, and we was watching Gearoid. And at first, Gearoid was like, and like every time, it was so funny because there was one bloke who picked another bloke up, and he just kept picking him up and throwing him at the wall.
And,
we've all been there.
And he was just like picking him up and just full on throwing him at a wall. And
there was only like 40 people there.
Yeah. That might even be a push.
Yeah, maybe 30. And like at one point he was chasing him around the merch table. Like
I'm
already more sold on this than the Kylie. Imagine that Kylie doing that.
It was funny though because at first like Gearoid was like, and genuinely about half an hour in, you was like, hit him, get him.
It was like, finish him off.
Yeah.
Oh, well, now we have all been there.
Yeah.
That's
why Gearoid like the wrestling.
But it
was quite something.
Do you know what? As well, like it was weird because in WWE they're all like 6'6", all the blokes, but it was like they were all just like average blokes. Do you know what I mean? They look like none of them were really like that muscly or whatever. Really, were they?
No, they were just like ordinary lads, like that wore Calvin Klein boxer shorts.
Yeah, and throwing each other into a wall. Yeah.
Yeah, like really they were trying to check if pasta was al dente, just sort of.
And the women were really good as well. They were on at the start. Yeah, they battered each other.
Yeah, they did.
I've just thought of a good drag name, Al Bente.
That's really good.
But were there any other notable players?
Notable.
They were very like the lads that was it the last two that were on? They were like absolutely like they killed one another. Like they absolutely killed one another. Yeah. And also, because in wrestling the way, like because they're big stars, you kind of think, oh well, they're never gonna get really that injured.
They do though. Like in WWE, they like proper like put each other. They just do Money in the Bank where they have to climb up ladders to get this briefcase, and they literally. I'll show you some of the moves. They're doing the moves. They put a ladder in the middle and then balanced a ladder from the rung of the ladder to the rope, and they were stood on top of this ladder in the middle of the air. Did like fucking power bombs and proper moves on it, and they do stuff like they lie someone out on a ladder and then just jump on him and like crack the ladder in half. So
Oh
they,
my
Wow.
God.
yeah, and like special event matches like that, they like really they do, and you like everyone's like it's fake. It's obviously a lot of stuff like that is choreographed, but you can't. The ladders are real, and they're snapping in half while like, and they're not light blokes, are they? They're like 6'6".
Well, when we were
muscle
going in,
beefcakes.
Sam, your brother, was really worried because he'd watched videos online. And he was like, I think this is going to be really violent because, like, apparently there was a video online and there was two lads with, like, skateboards wrapped in barbed wire hitting each other.
Yeah.
It's like,
A barbed
what
wire
are we
match.
going to?
Well,
Yeah.
this is me. So
So funny.
me and Sam both like wrestling, but it's mad. Since we were kids, we've always liked different matches. He don't like the really big, violent matches. He likes the storyline and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? Whereas I like tables, ladders, and chairs. I like violence.
Yeah.
But this was in, like, we were going to see this, it was in the back of a pub in Manchester. I was like, this feels wrong. Like, there's going to be people with skateboards and barbed wire. Where's the St. John's ambulance?
Yeah.
Like, where?
Yeah.
It's like I took you to like a dog fight.
Yeah.
Yeah, and no first aiders. I did notice that. No first aid.
No first aid.
No first aiders
No
at the
first aid.
wrestling event.
No first aiders. They didn't even have underwear, Morgan. They didn't have proper wrestling underwear. Or a washing machine, it looked like. Fucking hell.
It does feel like he's just had to rifle. He's forgotten his kit, and now he's had to go through lost property.
Yeah. It was the boxes over the over the fishnets with the big boots on, which was like, I don't know what the look was supposed to be.
Yeah, it feels the weird. If it was just that he forgot his gear and didn't realize he was on, fair enough. But like there was a decision made,
Yeah, that was
Yes.
his
and
look.
that's what I didn't understand. Yeah,
Yeah. Calvin Decline. It was, yeah.
Chatting with Cherubs.
How was Barcelona? How was Barcelona?
Barcelona was so
How
good.
was-
Muy bien, Barcelona. It was really good fun. 3 days. And I tell you what, we were there for 4 days, and that's the perfect amount of time for us because 4 days on holiday with your partner, you've still got something to talk about, and the arguing hasn't crept in yet. It was perfect. I threw my toys out of the pram only once, and that was on the way there. But the Primavera was absolutely wonderful. It was pretty much every gay in the UK was there, I would say.
yeah. And it's like that thing when you go on holidays with your partner, you try to get the big shag done on the first day, so you can relax and enjoy the rest of the holiday.
Yeah, that's exactly what we did. I don't think you'll mind me saying that's exactly what we did. It was
Get the
for
big one out of
first
the way.
night.
Yeah.
Because we knew we wouldn't be in the States to do it for the rest of the holiday.
Do you not shag on all your holiday?
No, because I'm never in a right state to.
Oh, I do.
You're not
I didn't know-
holidaying right.
I didn't know. Oh, but I don't get that. Like, I'm not like, oh, I'm gonna get messy. I have 2 cocktails, and I'm like, oh my god, I'm gonna sleep. Like, I don't feel like it's not.
Same.
And, yeah, then I wouldn't be doing Primavera. Like, I don't want to ask because I don't want to get you in trouble. But I'm guessing a lot of people there do drugs and stuff.
Other people were, other
Yeah.
people.
So yeah, I don't. I feel like I don't think because at festivals and stuff, it's hard to get a drink, so you only end up having about 2.
Yeah. I
It
wasn't
was wicked.
I wasn't at Primavera. I was just there for a gig. And
Yeah.
so I didn't have as much fun as Morgan did. But you seemed, by all accounts, you had a ball.
Yeah, the music festival was great. Janet got a little too messy on the first day. So the 2 people I wanted to see, I didn't get to see. So didn't get to see Charlie XCX because Janet was wasted and I had to take him home at 1 a.m. So I totally missed Charlie XCX.
I heard it wasn't very good, though.
I've heard that.
Was she performing after 1 a.m.?
Oh yeah, all the headliners don't go on until what 1 a.m. and then it's on. Well, it's on until 6 a.m.
I'm out. I'm off already. The only person I'd wait for Bette Midler and Kelly Clarkson, and I don't think either of them would do it that late.
No.
But they're booked for next year, though, I've heard.
Yeah.
But no, but that's a continent thing. They start so much later.
Yeah, well,
Like-
even like Kylie knows her audience. Do you know what I mean? She knows. Like, I was so surprised that on one of her tours she had an interval, and I was like, that's a woman that knows her audience, because she knows that this audience have been hammering the prostate off each other for the past 20 years, and they're all going to need to go to the toilet.
Is that why I wee so much?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, probably.
But yeah, she but Kylie was on time as well. It was like to the
Done.
it was like to the minute on
Yeah,
time.
she was on Netflix at 10:30.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She just loves the news at 10. She just has to get back for it.
Yeah.
So you didn't see Charlie XCX?
And I didn't get to see Chapel Roan.
That I would like to see Chapel Roan. What time did she go on at? 1.
Like, they're all like 1 a.m. That's when headliners go on.
I don't
but
know. If
Yeah.
I'd rather open. Who was opening?
Same. I love it. Yeah. Why do you want a headline?
I don't think they get the option of that. I don't think you get asked to headline Glastonbury and they go, oh, have you got like a 4 p.m. slot I can do instead?
It's like, come on, Chapel, you could be in your car at 8:30. Come on.
But even if you headline Glastonbury, that's at like 9, innit? 9:30.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, but no, this is the continent. It's so much later and it's so much more fun. But guess who I chose Chapel Roan over?
Adele. I don't know who else was there. Who else could have been there? Billie Eilish.
No,
The Sugar Babes.
no,
Girls Aloud.
no. We chose Gearoid. We actually ended up meeting up with Gearoid instead.
Ooh,
Oh my God, that's I mean, I'm offended by what Josh has just said, but even me, I think you made a bad decision.
Yeah.
And why did
We
Gearoid
could-
make you wait till 1 o'clock to see him? Just come in, give me me tablets and leave.
Yeah. just me good and talking to Gearoid, dancing two-stepping on one spot.
Yeah. I was just like, Morgan, this is not the vibe, Morgan. It's not the vibe.
Throw my arms up in the air every time he told a good story.
Yeah.
Were the clubs and bars or wherever you went to?
We ended up in a student bar.
Did you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we ended up going to a student bar in Barcelona.
Yeah, we got turned away from a lot of places, Josh. It was actually quite upsetting.
Yeah.
Why did you get turned away? Because
I don't know.
But they said cash only. We were just like, we're already using cards. But it was because we couldn't hack the third day at the festival. We were like, I can't. Maybe my social battery or just the idea of doing all that again, we couldn't hack it. And because we're doing Glastonbury in 3 weeks' time, we were like, we're going to see Chapel Roan there, so don't worry about it.
yeah,
Oh, yeah, I forgot. Yeah. Oh, yeah. So you didn't really... yeah, okay. All right, felt guilty.
No. And because this is the thing, Gearoid said, I'm in Barcelona, and we were in... Our hotels were neighbouring each other.
Yeah, we were across the road.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
then
and I am a Midwestern American princess, so it was
Yeah.
perfect.
Pretty much a swap for the other.
Yeah.
but at least when you see Chapel Roan, it'll be at the right time instead of 1 o'clock. I'm sorry, I keep circling back to this, but I really can't get my head around stuff going on after 12.
Even New Year's Eve upsets you.
Yeah. No, but I mean, like, I know DJs. You get some DJs on late at night, obviously. But I thought like a band and stuff. They'd be like, "Oh, I'm not going on at that time." They must pay them well.
Yeah, no, there was bands on until 5 a.m. in the morning.
Oh gosh, that's crazy.
What time does it start at?
It doesn't start till much later, so it starts around 7 o'clock. Whereas like Glastonbury starts at I think like 11 a.m. midday.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. It definitely like the Barcelona was really buzzing. Like it was really busy. I actually went to see Michelle Wolf on the Saturday night.
Oh, nice.
I did a show there on the Friday. Yeah, she does this tiny little gig. It's like a new material gig that she does every week for her podcast.
Yeah.
And she was really cool. Oh my God.
She's so good.
She's
So
so
good.
good. The best, really, I think, out there at the moment.
And there's only like 30 people at it. Like, it was really cool.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
that is
loved it.
cool.
Yeah, it was quite funny because when you text, hey, let's meet up. And this thing, I'd never met drunk Gearoid before.
I was pretty drunk.
And this is how I knew I was meeting drunk Gearoid. You said, meet me in the hotel lobby. And I went in there. And the hotel lobby is completely empty, bar Gearoid, who is bent by the knees on the sofa flat.
Well, like you've done a death drop.
I was on my holidays. I was just having a good time.
Just lying down on the sofa.
I was pretty drunk. Yeah, I was drunk. And we did get really drunk.
We were as well. We were as well.
By the end of the night, we were like, we're all meeting up tomorrow to get tattoos.
Yeah. we kept on saying it.
But the problem is, I went.
So you've got it done?
No, it was really embarrassing.
Oh, that's so sad. He turned up to the tattoo parlor and you wasn't there.
I was like, we're supposed to be getting tattoos.
Yeah, this is where we find out you've got your half of the love heart and I haven't got mine.
So basically, I've been wanting to get a tattoo. I'm going to get a tattoo on my leg for like Dancing with the Stars because like it's such a good time. I was like, I want to really like mark it. So I sent them like the time I went into the tattoo place.
I can't. Are you getting a tattoo of Dancing with the Stars on your leg?
Just like a little like thing to like. I was going to get.
Yeah, you get a tattoo. Are you getting an on ice one as well, Josh? Is it?
No, I'm paying a therapist to try and get the memories out of my fucking head. I hated it.
I accidentally spoke over you then, Gearoid. Sorry.
No, you're grand. So I decided that there was this like we did this disco week where like we were both pointing. I was like, I'm just gonna get like little matchstick men doing that like on my leg, just really small. So I sent them the photograph, right? And I was like, I just want that, but I want it matchstick men. But like something got lost in the translation because when I went in, they just like traced around the photograph and they were going to put that on my leg, and I was like, that's not what I want. But I was just it was rolling like. Like he was putting on his gloves, and I was like, I need to get out of this people pleasing thing because I'm going to end up with this terrible tattoo. So I said to them, I was like, I'm not sure. I'm not sure about that. I'm not sure. And they were like, why you're not sure? And I was like, I don't really like. It's the shape of it. And then your woman was like, who was translating, she was like, what's the problem? And I was like, well, it's just it's the shape of it. It's too big. And she's like, is it because you look fat? It's just,
no way.
I was like, well, actually, yeah.
That's horrific.
But then I was just like, no, I'm just like, and I just left. But like, that's what she said. Is it because you look fat? And I was like, that was the jacket, but you just traced around it.
Yeah, we've always wondered what our school bullies ended up doing. It turns out they're now tattoo artists in Barcelona.
Imagine having a fat pic, but it's you tattooed on your own leg. Like, I was minutes away from that happening.
Chatting with Cherubs.
I had this really weird thing happen. I'm on tour at the moment, but with Joanne, and we went through Berlin. Was it Berlin airport? I think it was Berlin. And there was this little kid.
So many countries, I can't remember which airport.
Oh, I know,
it's
just like in.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's just me and Kylie. We're very similar. That's why we'll be good friends. But there was this.
I bet kid. She doesn't look fat in her tattoos.
Such a monster.
And I think if anyone ever said that to them, I don't think they'd last that long, would they?
I know.
Then I think the gays would be threatening.
Yeah, exactly.
If anyone called Kylie fat.
She's so slim.
She's so tiny.
Yeah, tiny.
The only thing big about that woman is her bum. Great bum.
She got a big bum.
Wow. She got a great bum. Yeah. But I was going through, and there was this kid crying, and this lady, who was like, she was giving out the plastic bags when you go through security. She just went to the kid and she went, "The bad witches are going to come and take you." It's this little kid who was already upset, right? So I kicked off. I was like, "Don't, that's child abuse. That's disgraceful." But what the unfortunate thing was, another airport attendant tried to help the mother. Like, so she came over and she was like, "Ooh." ooh, to the baby, but she had a massive nose and like curly hair. And the kid lost his shit. The kid went fucking mental.
How many countries have you been in since you've gone so far?
I don't know. Lisbon, Amsterdam, Barcelona, Oslo today. I think it's 3 more to go, I think.
Who had the best breakfast?
Oof, great question, Josh.
Fantastic question. I do think Barcelona.
Really?
Yeah, Barcelona. There's a place in Barcelona called Brunch and Cake.
I don't know how you messaged me the day after our big night out and saying, we're going to there. I was like, how can you even think of food?
I was dying. I needed to get food. I was in ribbons. I can't handle hangover. I need to get it gone. I just can't do it. Like, and myself and my other half, we were in ribbons. Yeah.
Yeah. I kept on giving you shots and everything.
I had limoncello shots.
Were they nice?
Very sophisticated. Yeah.
Oh yeah, limoncello was wicked.
Yeah, but we were having them with them mugs of beer.
A pint glass with an handle.
Yeah.
I love a pint glass with an handle.
Pint a bitter.
Yeah.
Yeah, I felt really ladsy. That wasn't the student bar, but we were having very posh cocktails in the other place.
Oh,
yeah,
you really
I do feel bad.
You mix your drinks then, didn't you?
Oh yeah, I mean we were absolute like pigs. We were I was a disgrace. Like
I've only just quite realised that when I met you, you were like, "Oh, let's go to the rooftop bar," and it was so nice, Josh. We got to see the whole city. There was really posh drinks. We had espresso martinis and this, that, and the other. And then I took you to a students' bar, and we stood around a barrel.
Well, I didn't see anything nice. I got my back to the city. I was too drunk. I was like, yeah, I've seen it before. Yeah, it was disgraceful. It was, very, very seldom the wheels came off, but God, they came off that night.
Yeah.
That's that for that. Well, fucking hell. That's that for that. Fucking hell. That didn't make sense. That's that for that. That's that.
That's that for that. For that.
That is that now. That.
I tell you what, that is that. That is that.
That's that for
That is that, lads.
Right. That's the end. We've ended. That's the end. Thank you for listening to Chatting with Cherubs with me, Josh Jones, and the amazing.
Oh, you should be on the BBC. Gearoid Farrelly.
And I've been Morgan Rees. We've all got things to plug.
Yeah, we've all got things to plug. I'm on tour. Gearoid's on tour. Morgan's going to Edinburgh.
Yeah.
And I'm going to Edinburgh as well. Yeah, I think. I've no material. Don't come see me.
I don't know why. I shouldn't have plugged for all of us. Morgan, plug.
Going up to Edinburgh for the first 2 weeks. I've got another podcast called My Bad. Follow me on socials. Gearoid.
I am on tour in Ireland until the end of July. I'm going to Edinburgh for the first 2 weeks, and I have another podcast called Agony Rants.
I'm at the Edinburgh Fringe for 3 days, the 11th, 12th and 13th, and I'm on tour.
Pussy.
I'm on tour starting in September. Thank you so much for listening. Goodbye. Get tickets at joshjonescomedy.com. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.
Also, every Thursday and bonus one Tuesday. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. We're so professional.
Chatting with Cherubs.